Hi everybody, my name is Miss Lynn and I'm a teaching artist for the PACE program here in Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm a movement artist, which means we'll be using our whole bodies to make our art today. The PACE art program integrates the arts with classroom curriculum, and we are brought to you today by the Acadiana Center for the Arts and the Lafayette Parish school system. So today we're going to be using our bodies to measure. Have you ever done that before? Well, we'll be using the actual length of our bodies as well as lots of different ways to move across the floor to learn 3 different measurement ideas. We're going to learn about 1/4, we're going to learn about 1/2, and we're going to learn about 1 whole. So for today's lesson, you'll need some space to move and also some small objects to put on the floor. You can use almost anything. Some rocks would work, some little small toys would work, anything you can place on the ground that are heavy enough that they won't fly away when you move. And we won't need them right away. You can kind of find them later in the lesson. Remember, you can always pause this video anytime that you need to, so maybe later on when we get our objects would be a good time for that. So we always start with a warm-up, and in our warm-up today we're going to be using something called pathways. In movement, a pathway is exactly what it sounds like. It means different ways we can go to move through a space. A path is kind of like a road, but for a person, or kind of really, you can think of it like a kind of like a sidewalk. All right, so we're going to look at 3 pathways today. The first one is a straight pathway. Okay, that means we'll start at one place and move along an imaginary straight line on the floor to a new place, and we can get there a lot of different ways. You can choose any way you like. You can walk, you can skip, you can march, you can run. All right, let's try some of those. We're going to move in straight pathways. So just back up, get some space, and I guess for this first one, let's back up all the way, and we can go towards each other. All right. So here's our first straight pathway. Let's walk this one. Here we go. Ready? We're going to walk straight towards each other. Walk, 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 walk. That was a straight pathway, right? Okay, this time, let's go backwards. Let's march straight backwards. Okay, you ready? We're going to go straight to the back. March, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was a straight pathway. What if we started over here and went across? What do you think of that? We could do that, right? So go ahead to one side, and we're going to take a straight pathway. Imagine a straight line on the floor, and you're just following it. Let's see. Ooh, let's skip this time. You want to? All right, here we go. Straight pathway. Straight. Here we go. Did you get there? All right. Let's go straight this way. What do you want to do this time? You want to run? It'll be a short run, okay? Let's do that. Here we go. Ready to go, we run straight. Did you do it? Awesome. Now take your favorite way to move and show me how you go straight across the space. Actually, let's do this one like this. Come towards me so I can see you, okay? So we can make a straight line toward the screen. You can walk, you can run, you can skip, whatever you want. Okay, ready? Straight line. This is a straight pathway. Go. All right, good job. Our next pathway is called a curved pathway. That means we'll start at one place and we'll move along an imaginary curvy line on the floor to a new place. and we can get there any way you like, okay? We might try to gallop or tiptoe or even swim or fly, all right? So back up and we're gonna move in curvy pathways. You might wanna watch this one first to see how I do it, okay? So I'm gonna start with tiptoe. So I'm tiptoeing and I'm making a curvy path. Do you see that? I'm following my own curvy line on the floor. Try it with me. Tiptoe in a curvy path. Good. Let's try another one. Should we gallop? You know how to gallop? I bet you do. Let's gallop in a curve. Here we go. Yeah, very good. What else can we do? Oh, I said we could swim. Should we swim and pretend we're swimming in a curvy river? Let's try that. Here we go. Curve. As you go on your pathway. Great. And we said we could try to fly. We're going to have to pretend to fly, right? Because people don't really fly. But let's fly on a curved pathway. Ready? Get your wings ready. We fly curve, curve. All right. Nicely done. Well, we have one more pathway to learn about. That one is called a zigzag pathway. Do you know what a zigzag looks like? It's kind of like a bolt of lightning, all right? First one way and then the other, all right? So, how could we move along a zigzag path? We could jump, we could skate, we could shuffle. Let's try some, all right? So back up. And this time, I'm gonna show it like this so you can see, all right? So let's jump our zigzag pathway. First this way, and then that way. Ready? We'll have 2 jumps each way. Here we go. Jump, jump, switch directions. Jump, jump, switch directions. Jump, jump, switch. Jump, jump. You see that? We're making like zigzag pathway on the floor with the way that our bodies are going. Let's try it again. This time let's skate. Okay? Here we go. So we're gonna skate this way first. So we go skate, then we're gonna skate that way. Skate, skate, skate. That's another zigzag path. Let's try one more. I don't know if you know the word shuffle. It just sort of means to shuffle your feet. Can we try that? Here, I'll make sure you can see my feet a little better. We're gonna zigzag like this. First one way, and then the other way. Do it with me. First this way, and make your path zigzag that way. All right, very good. All right, it's time for us to practice our pathways. We're gonna use these later when we use our measurements, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hear some music that has 3 parts to it. The first part will go on a straight path, then we'll go on a curvy path, and then we'll go on a zigzag path. You'll hear it in the music, and you can go as far as like how you can go any way you choose. Okay, so remember our first pathway will be straight. Back up and get some space. We want to listen for the music. And you can move any way you want. First is straight. Make sure your pathway is curvy. Here's our you want to review it, you can just pause and back up the video and do them one more time. But those were our pathways: straight, curved, and zigzag. So we just used our bodies to warm up and move in different pathways, right? That's one thing we can do with our bodies. What else do we use our bodies for? Well, we also use our bodies to express how we feel, right? Or to stretch, or to exercise, right? Well, a long time ago, people used their bodies to measure how long or how far something is. And we're going to try that today too. We're going to use our bodies today to measure something called fractions. What is a fraction? Well, it's a part of something that gets divided into equal parts. A fraction tells us how many parts of the whole thing we have. I'll give you some examples. Think about a sandwich, a long sandwich, okay? If you've ever gone to Subway, you might have ordered like a tuna sub or a chicken sub, and they often ask you, well, do you want a half or a whole? Which one is bigger? A whole, right? That sandwich is one that's made on the whole piece of bread. Okay, so it might look kind of like this. That's one whole sandwich, right? But if you wanted to share with a friend, you would split the sandwich in what's called a half. Each of you would get the same amount. You would each get one half of the sandwich. And that looks like this. One half of your sandwich. So two halves make that whole. Make sense? Okay, let's see. And if you wanted to share with 3 friends, so you needed 4 equal pieces, you would each get what's called a quarter of a sandwich. And that would look like this. So 1/4 is one of 4 equal parts of a sandwich. All right, I think it's time to put this into movement. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use our whole bodies to be sort of that sandwich we've been looking at and talking about, okay? If your whole body was that sandwich, how could you show me how long that whole sandwich would be? Well, one way we could do it is to lie on the ground, show how long we are, and mark the ends of ourselves with 2 small objects. So, this is where you need to get your objects. If you need to pause the video and get 5 small objects, you can go ahead and do that now. You can use little rocks, you can use little toys, like I think I'm gonna use little toys like this alligator and other animals like that. You can use hair ties if you have hair ties, like little barrettes or little circles. You could use books, okay? You can really use anything small, but that's heavy enough that it'll stay on the ground while we're moving. Okay, so if you need to pause, go ahead, and I'm gonna get my objects ready too. All right, so you're gonna need 2 objects to start. You could use little objects like these kind of things, like I have a dog and a swan. But I'm gonna use bigger animals just because I want you to be able to see them. So you're gonna need 2 objects. I'm gonna use my kangaroo and my dragon, okay? So all you're gonna do is you're gonna lie down on the floor. Next to your head, you're gonna put object number 1, and next to your feet, you're gonna put object number 2, okay? I'll show you how, you can do it with me. So I'm gonna back way up so you can see, and I'm gonna get my kangaroo ready. I know he's gonna be on that side, and my dragon ready. I know he's gonna be on that side. All right? And I'm gonna lie down right here. I'm trying to keep my feet and my head on screen so you can see them. I'm gonna put my kangaroo right at my head there. And I'm gonna put my dragon right at my feet. Okay? Then you're gonna back up. So you put your object at your head, the other one at your feet. Then you can back up and you can see that is how long you are. Okay? One cool thing you might not know is that your length from fingertip to fingertip is the same as you are tall, the same distance that you are tall, okay? You can check this out. You can lie down and put your fingertips out and measure, and it'll be the same distance as your head to your foot, all right? So this is called our whole length, all right? The next thing we're gonna do is mark the halfway point. That is the middle between your two objects. So you're gonna need one more object. This is my object I'm gonna use to mark the halfway point. So go ahead and find yourself your halfway point object, and we'll take them back to our whole distance. So here we go. This is our whole distance from here to here, and I'm gonna put my halfway point object right in the middle between them. And look at that, I made 1/2 over there and 1/2 over there. So how many halves make the whole? 2 halves, right? All right, let's try to put some movement to these distances that we have so far. All right, so we're gonna try to make one movement to go our whole length, from my kangaroo to my dragon, all right? So the whole length. Maybe that's a run, maybe that's a gallop, it's up to you, all right? So I want you to remember how far you're going, and this movement will always be one whole, okay? So I'm gonna run, okay? And go back the other way. Remember this movement, this is gonna be your whole distance movement. Here we go. Okay, very good. Now we need to choose a different movement for the halfway movement, all right? So from my kangaroo to my monkey, I bet I can go that distance in a jump or a leap, okay? If you can do the same for yours, you can use that, all right? So we have to make a halfway movement, a movement that is half the distance. I'm gonna go like this, halfway. Can you try it? And look, we have that same distance to go to get the rest of the way. So here we go. Go halfway. Very good. And let's go back using our halfway movement, okay? So from my dragon to the middle point monkey, we go halfway. Here we go. Halfway. And halfway again. Halfway. All right. Very good. So the next thing we'll do is mark our quarters. Well, remember, 1/4 means there are 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this for the sandwich. So we need 2 more objects. We're gonna mark halfway between the halves that we have. I'll show you what I mean. Here are my 2 objects, all right? These are my quarter objects. I have a dog, and I guess this guy is a penguin, I think. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my distances and figure out where to put these. So here I go. I'm noticing between my kangaroo and my monkey, there's a midpoint there. I'm gonna put the dog right there. And look, between my monkey and my dragon, there's a midpoint there, and I'm going to put my penguin. And look what we've done. Suddenly we have 4 equal parts, right? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we've marked our quarters. Let's find some movement to make a quarter. So if I'm back here at my kangaroo, I'm pretty sure I can just tiptoe to my first quarter where the dog is. And we could use that for our quarter movement. You want to try it? Here we go. We got tiptoe, another tiptoe, another tiptoe, and another tiptoe. And I went all 4 quarters. Let's go back. Maybe we'll choose a different movement. What would be another small movement? We could march. You want to try that? Let's try that. So here we go. March for the first quarter. March for the second quarter. March for the third quarter. And march for the fourth quarter. All right? So which was our smallest distance that we went? Which movement is our smallest distance? Our quarter movement, right? So a tiptoe or a march is just a little bit of movement. Our halfway movement, our jump, we cover more distance, right? It's a bigger amount of distance. And we could do that one again. All right, and to go the whole length, everything at once, right? We can't just step it or jump it. That's why I thought we might do a run, okay? So to go the whole distance, we'll run. Try it with me. Run the whole distance. Here we go. Okay, very good. So let's do one more practice, all right? Show me the whole distance. Good. Show me half the distance. Did you jump? Awesome. Show me another half. And show me the smallest distance that we had. Show me 1/4 the distance. What are you going to do for 1/4 the distance? And show me a quarter again. And a quarter. And a quarter. All right. Very good. I think it's time for us to put these into an actual dance. All right, for our final dance, we are going to need to clear our objects or our animals off the floor, but we'll do that in a moment. What I thought would be fun is to put all of our different sandwiches in this bowl, and we'll pick so that we know what order we're doing our dance in. And then we can use the original music, and we can play with whole movements, half movements, and quarter movements in whatever order we pick out, okay? So just to remind us, let me do it like this. This is one whole, and that was our run to make the whole distance, right? This is one half. And for our half, what did we do? Half distance. We jumped to get there, right? And finally, we have our smallest movement, our quarter. And what did we do to make our quarter movement? We took a step or a tiptoe or a march, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use those 3 movements. Here I'm mixing up the cards. Actually don't remember which color is which, so that's fine. Okay, our first movement is going to be, the half movement. So our first movement will be that jump where we go half the distance, all right? Then we get to go our whole distance, which is our run, okay? So we'll do a jump, half distance, and we'll run for whole distance, and then we'll just do a quarter movement, which is our march, okay? So that is our order, okay? Let's just do that much. I'm gonna take the objects away. You might wanna take your objects away too. I'm just gonna move them back here so you can still see them. All right? So what did we say? Our first movement, we can now go on any pathway we run, right? Our first movement was that half distance, so that's a jump. And then we had a whole distance, so that's a run. I'm gonna run mine on a curve. And then we had a quarter distance, a march. Wanna try it again? Here we go. Jump. That's our half. Here's a whole. Run. And march 1/4. Very good. All right, let's try it with some music. We're going to use our zigzag music from the beginning of our lesson for our final dance. So we might as well make a zigzag path. And we'll keep the same order we just chose from the bowl, all right? So first will be our half movement, that's our jump. Then our whole movement, that's our run. And then our quarter movement, which is our tiptoe, all right? So there's some music to get us back. So go ahead and get some space and get ready to move. I'm gonna go this way with the zigzag. Here we go. Half. Turn, get ready to go whole. Get ready to go quarter. We did it. Good job. Let's do a final stretch where we use our wholes, halves, and quarters in our stretches. All right? So we'll start with a big, huge stretch, the biggest we can do. That's a whole stretch. Ready? We're gonna breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Let's do a half a stretch. So that's like half of your energy. We're gonna breathe in and breathe out. And now we'll do a quarter stretch with a quarter of your energy, just a little bit. Ready? Breathe in and breathe out. There you go. Well, thanks for exploring whole distances, half distances, and quarter distances with me today. Next time you order a sandwich, you have a lot more to think about, don't you? You can imagine sharing that sandwich with one other person. So you each have 1/2. Or you could share with 3 other people. So you each have 1/4. Well, we'll be posting a new lesson every day at 10 a.m. on the Acadiana Center for the Arts YouTube channel for kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grades. Each one will be tied to the academic curriculum. And you can also get these lessons on AOC as part of the Learn United program. That's accessible on AOC on Cox Channel 16 or LUS Channel 4. Kindergarten lessons are at 8 o'clock and 1st and 2nd grades are at 9 o'clock. Some lessons are visual art, some lessons are creative movement. So, please be sure to come back and make art with us tomorrow. If you're interested in supporting programs like this one, you can visit acadianacenterforthearts.org. That's the nonprofit who manages the PACE program. Well, spread the word, share our videos, and keep making art. Bye-bye, everybody.